Hello, and welcome to Baki Taki Season 3, Episode 10, Can't You Laugh? Also, Baki Taki After Dark, Episode 2. On this episode, this is the third episode of Tri Month. It's a very special episode because we have fan favorite Christian and also Jack is here. Say hello.
Oh, no.
I win.
I feel humiliated.
Sorry, Jack. I asked our fans who they wanted me to bring back, and the one guy who replies every week, big ups to you, Jacob, said Christian, and nobody said Jack.
Oh man, I know. My second appearance was probably the lowest point of the show in terms of metrics, so I came prepared. I was hoping I can do better today. So Jack, hopefully, I get the votes.
You've got such a huge buffer. That first episode, I think we have an 80% drop off after that. So
okay, well, I'll take that.
Yeah,
I got the sex episode, so I feel like that's a buff for me.
Oh, yeah. Christian, I wanted to talk about the sex episode. So
again,
of course, I want to talk about it all the time. So I was in an argument with somebody on a Baki Discord. Because they were trying to argue that the entire first season, the whole death row inmate arc, took place over 5 days. And I was like, that is so stupid. I bet Baki had sex for more than 5 days. So I tried to prove them wrong. And I couldn't find the issue. And do you want to know, can you guess why I couldn't find it?
Like the issue in the manga or the anime?
Yeah, the issue in the manga where Baki has sex. I wanted to use the manga as the real source of truth.
Right.
Is it anime exclusive?
Yeah, did they not show him having sex in the book?
So it's sort of that. What happened is the sex was too hot. They printed it in a different magazine because the sex was too explicit.
They had to put it in Japanese Playboy.
Yeah, and that's why the episode's called Saga, because I think that's what they called the whole the weird sex offshoot manga that Baki was in.
Weird.
Wow. So it was just essentially fan fiction, very explicit fan fiction that they published outside of Baki.
Man, that
but
would
is
be
integral, but canon.
That would be so weird though, to be following the manga and then suddenly there's not an episode or there's not a release that week, and then the next week there's just he's super powerful now. Yeah, he's whipping people apart with his arms.
Sorry, kid. To understand it, you gotta buy a porno.
I wouldn't have believed how strong Baki was if I didn't see how many rolled up balls of tissue paper he had on his floor.
There's so much moisture in that man. He is so well hydrated.
Extremely.
Yeah.
Well,
all right. So you guys have both been on the show multiple times. So I have a new question for my duo guests. And that is, I want you to describe the other person with the Baki character that most resembles them. So Christian, if you had to describe Jack as a Baki character, and Jack, what Baki character most resembles Christian? So
I can go first. I feel like Jack's, he's a redheaded Canadian, so Jack Hanma.
Hell yeah. I'm almost just tall as Jack
is
Hanma.
6'11",
yeah.
Yeah, you've had bone lengthening surgery, right?
Yeah, but very recently. I'm still walking it off.
It's a
poorly.
very common
I'm walking
thing.
it off poorly.
Every professional magician does bone lengthening surgery.
Well, because Christian is a professional magician in his spare time, I would have to say probably Doyle. I think Christian is most like Doyle. There's one time that he pulled a knife out of his left leg, and I'll never forget it.
I've done that.
Yeah, multiple times.
This is why
you put it there.
This is why Christian's been the most requested guest back. Just like Doyle, he's perfect for every ship. He's the most shippable guest.
The raw charisma of a magician is undeniable. Also, can I cast somebody really quickly?
Sure.
I really wanted to cast Dorian as Patrick Warburton.
Ooh.
Oh, that'd be good.
I like that.
He has to grow a bit of a beard, but
but think of the Mavi song with his voice.
I'll see if I can get an AI to do that for me. Deepfake Dorian.
La Mardima Vai.
All right. So this episode is an episode of Baki for sure. We finished the Che Guevara arc, and now we are in the end game.
I am a bit disappointed that I didn't get get to really see him in action.
Me too.
Che Guevara, yeah.
I was hoping for a little more Comrade Che.
I'm the amount of times I've tried to when I went, so I just took a team building event and we went on a pirate ship and I kept wanting to go, I saw home, but I knew nobody would, even if you're a fan of Baki, aren't gonna appreciate that one.
You should have talked about your geopolitics of your nondescript tropical island.
my island that is a part of America, but also George Bush wants to bomb it out of existence.
I mean, that basically describes Puerto Rico and most Republican presidents.
George Bush should have came down and started throwing paper towels at them. But yeah. So this episode, so at the end of last episode, Baki had decided, I'm tired of listening to these stupid guards telling me that I was born stupid. I'm going to go get some fresh air. He runs out and he runs into the guards. Jack, do you want to tell us how this, where we start?
Yeah, definitely. We start with the people in the guard tower watching everything that's going on. Baki has a firing squad all pointing at him, and the warden is standing and kind of lecturing him about how he is in an unwinnable situation.
Currently, the shooting squad has apprehended Baki Hanma. It looks like the warden is giving him a lecture.
The warden, who also has multiple cheek lines, he's got one of the most disgusting faces I've ever seen. So he's lecturing him. He gets all up close in his face, and then the firing squad, which I thought was interesting, surround him in a circle.
The shooting squad surrounded Baki Hanma now. Over.
Wow, how nice of them. Over.
Which seems like a very bad idea if you were to shoot.
To be fair, before this, the warden was standing between the firing squad and Baki. This was not a well-coordinated firing squad.
Their positioning is so bad.
Everybody shoot except for the people who would be shooting my face. Oh my gosh.
So they're really positioned across each other, and they don't understand how bullets work, especially as close as they are. So Baki didn't have to do a lot of mental backflips to get them to let him go, essentially. But it's one of those things. Is part of the age of bare hands, which we are currently a part of, is that people are really good at martial arts and they're faster than guns. But it also seems that the other crucial half is that the people with guns are complete imbeciles. They don't know how to use them. That is a definitive feature. Just one more thing that I noticed is Baki is looking incredibly hot this season. He had twinkly eyes and perfectly coiffed hair in a close-up. They keep on making him really, really good looking. And he's in prison, so that's impressive for the level of hygiene. This.
Katie was came into the room partway through, and she said when she saw Baki standing opposite the giant Oliva, I didn't know it was one of these shows.
Oh my god. I hope it was later when zips.
if she waited a little longer, she would have gotten a bit more.
Look at that.
She got enough.
I finally got Katie on the podcast.
Yes.
But basically what happens is Baki, through sheer martial talent, is able to break the warden's glasses without him noticing about a couple minutes before they actually break, and then steal a bunch of buttons off guards' shirts.
There are 6 shooters surrounding me right now. I took the second button off each of them. I mean, from right here. I swiped all the shirt buttons that sit right in front of the weakest point on a person's torso.
The second button from each shirt.
The second button, yes.
The most vulnerable button.
I'll be honest. I would be pretty spooked if some guy took my button. I'd probably shoot him immediately, just out of fear.
I honestly, when I saw the buttons in his hand, I honestly thought that he was like about to pants them.
Yeah, me too. That's what I thought.
It just starts playing like, "What's with Andy? What's with?" Editor Steve, this was probably too deep of a cut. For context, What's with Andy was a Canadian animated show about a prankster named Andy who, he got pantsed a lot. That's the reference. Also, the theme song really holds up. So just excuse how long this clip is.
Enough about that. Check out what happens when I mess with a goon's hat. Started out as a prank, but then got way out of hand. See, now the whole town's shouting, hey, what's with Andy? I'm the best, I'm the greatest joker ever. What's with Andy? What's with Andy? I'm a trick-playing gangster.
Oh, he would have been a menace if he could move faster than the human eye.
Yeah,
that niche Canadian cartoon.
That'll go well with us. We're big in Canada. We're between the 40th and 200th biggest anime podcast in Canada. So
every guest except Marcus is in Canada.
Yeah,
that is true. I gotta get some Americans in here. Somebody recommended me to get people who work on the show, and I was like, that's not happening.
They overestimate your reach.
All right, Christian, I want to talk to you about so Baki starts shit talking them. First, it's super cool. He breaks the glasses, steals their buttons. But what I wanted to talk about is when he talks about how even if they shot him, it probably wouldn't work. Can you go to depth or explain that a bit?
Yeah, I still don't feel like I fully understand this. I feel like they've kind of touched on this at other points in the show where a motion that's started will just continue autonomously, I guess, is the idea by a martial artist who's skilled enough. But he basically tells them that they have to shoot him in the cerebellum or his body will continue to move and kill them. He also just kind of shit talks them, saying that he guesses that the guards don't know where the cerebellum is.
Plus, I'd be more than willing to bet none of these guys here actually know the precise location of the cerebellum.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Shoot him in the brain. Where?
Exactly.
Baki is literally like a Killbot 3000. You have to shoot him in the brain stem or else he will automatically murder you at the speed of sound. You won't even notice the buttons coming off your shirt as he murders you.
Yeah, when he did this, there must have been a brief flash of movement, right? But apparently not. No one saw it. And they were standing a decent ways away from him, so he must have had to move.
Yeah, it's so fun. And honestly, what I love about this season of Baki, right? So Baki goes to jail. And I feel like in most shows, this will be a scene of character growth where he's learned the skill that he is now above the guards. But as far as I can tell, he has just always been this strong and has just for some reason been living as a prisoner for weeks. Because I guess he wanted to see Che Guevara fight Oliver first.
Well, since he had sex.
Yes. Oh, if he didn't have sex, shot dead instantly. He
would have tried it, just bang. Not even in the cerebellum.
Yeah, no. He would have said,
he wouldn't have even gotten to the button.
Dead.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Man, I wish Kozue was in this season. I wish he took her to jail with him. That'd be fun.
It goes away. We have to kidnap the president.
Oh no, Baki, no.
I would love to see Kozue again. The last time I saw her, she had 6 different faces and was kicking a man incessantly. She's a great character.
Did I tell you guys Kozue is basically out of the show? She's almost never coming back. She comes back once, probably in 2 seasons for a scene. And then maybe once more, and that's in 30 years.
Her character arc is complete.
Yeah. What
Hot
did you say the
sex.
character, the creator said that she was like away studying or something?
Oh, it was some guy on Reddit said that Kozue went to school in Canada, and he followed it up with, "I used this headcanon because it makes me feel better about the plot."
And Baki's never gonna go fight in Canada. Let's be honest.
He could fight his brother there, and then yeah. All right. Well, so Baki clearly demonstrates that these random 6 guys with guns are not going to stop him, and so he tells the warden to put his arm around his back, and they go for a little stroll. Basically, Baki is, by all intents and purposes, unchained. What does Mr. Unchained think about this, Jack?
Oh well, Oliver had a great entry. He was on a motorcycle.
Unchained.
The motorcycle to him proportionally did not make any sense. He looked like Bowser in Mario Kart.
Or that one Elden Ring boss with the horse.
Yeah, he did look like Radon. That's so good. But I mean, like, props to Oliver's stylist. The guy just looked cool as hell. He was in like green pants and like a purple vest with no shirt on, and he was. Well, Baki was getting under his skin. Baki's a little shit. Like he's very rude.
You forget because Baki does nothing in the story most of the time, but he is an asshole.
He's a jerk.
Whenever he
He's a
interacts with
massive
people.
jerk.
If I'm able to go outside whenever I please, without using any weapons, and come back when I want, what exactly is the difference between you and me?
So
He's a penis bastard.
he's literally
Canonically.
the people got it right. Honestly, the people who were bullying were probably right.
Blair's been vindicated.
Listen, I think it honestly influenced my opinion towards Baki, because I'm like, if all of the people in the town hate Baki and are writing graffiti at him, then I think maybe there's something there. I think maybe Baki isn't like the good guy everyone thinks he is.
But I don't know. I think I didn't write down anything of what Oliver said, but I know that he was getting frustrated with Baki. Basically Baki was trying to make a point that he is just as unchained as Oliver, and Oliver has a problem with that. It basically culminates him with Oliver mentioning something about a Japanese tradition of some sort, and then him glowing red and being so veiny, like his veins just popping out of his skin.
Like worms.
Like worms. Oliver's full of worms. Baki's undergoing like a mental warfare with Oliver right now, which is very smart, tactically speaking.
Yeah. This is one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I love Biscuit Oliva as a character. He's probably my favorite character on the show, partially because of his cool jazz theme that I love to use.
Yeah.
But I love that he's typically presented as this cool cucumber. He doesn't really care about martial arts. He has this like orthogonal goal to the rest of the characters of being arbitrarily the world's freest man. So it's this odd position he's put into where Baki is sort of making fun of him, being like, I don't even have to be a prisoner at this stupid prison. I can do everything you can do. Why do you live in jail if you're the world's freest man?
All Baki is really doing is just pointing out the contradictions in his life.
Yeah, it is funny that Baki does say that I can do everything you can do, but Baki doesn't have a motorcycle. Like there are clear facts to this that Baki is not on Oliver's level.
He also doesn't have that cool purple shirt.
No. Baki, if Baki drove out in a motorcycle wearing that shirt, he'd look like a fucking dweeb.
Yeah.
He would not look anywhere near as cool as Oliver.
And the one way that he gets under his skin is that he yells at him to go grab some food and try again tomorrow.
You have no idea who you're dealing with. I'll let it slide for today. So go grab some food and try again.
I I think it's just basically Baki's way of telling him that he needs to eat a Snickers.
Marsha.
Oh my god. Somebody make a fan edit of this scene with the motorcycle, but it's Betty White coming up to tell Baki off. Christian, this scene sort of goes south. Baki, of course, says why do you eat some more food and try this again. What does Mr. Oliva end up doing to this motorcycle?
Well, Oliva gets real pissy with Baki. He kind of has like an internal monologue for a second there where he's like, Baki's not acting like himself sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Another glowing endorsement of Snickers. But Baki basically just like, after his whole like, I'm just as free as you are thing, goes back into the prison and leaves Oliva standing there looking all pissy with the guards. One of the guards says, hey, do you want me to like move your motorcycle into the garage? And in response, Oliva just fucking smashes the motorcycle and then says, I was gonna trade it in anyway. Which is not a good look. That's an anger management issue.
It's not a great look, but I will say, can you imagine how fucking emasculated you'd be if you rode out in your motorcycle and then some random dude says,
mister, I'll just put this in the garage, okay?
hey, can I drive that 5 feet over to the left for you? I know you got emasculated in the driveway, so I assume you want to go back to your garage.
It's true. I don't know who he was more pissed at, Baki or the guard who had the audacity to speak to him.
I was hoping that he was going to run Baki over with the motorcycle, but it was really a half measure.
I was half expecting him to pull like a Wario and like eat the motorcycle.
Unhinges his jaw. Oh my god! But that's
Unhinged.
Mr. Unhinged. That's the thing about Oliver, though. Like, most fighters in this show are martial arts fighters, and so when they get random impressive, like Kosho Shinogi, you'll remember him, Jack, from your second episode that everybody loved. His impressive martial arts fact was that he could, with his fingers, he could cut a piece of paper in midair.
Oh my god!
That's like a real world fact. Oliver, because he is so strength-based, will pick up a motorcycle and throw it one-armed across the room like 30 feet. Like Oliver has feats that I would say are equivalent to Captain America. Like, he does things that are impossible versus skill-based that the other characters have, like cutting into tearing a phone book in half.
The guy is obviously on a whole different level than everybody else around him. And just the fact that he could emanate red aura, it probably signifies that he is pretty scary.
He's got the red hockey.
He got the red hockey. His Conqueror's hockey is out of this world.
Exactly. All right, so now we get to my favorite scene of the episode. Bar none. If you had asked me if this scene happened before I rewatched it, I would have said no. Christian, Oliver and Maria meet up. What do they get up to?
So he's walking after being all pissed off. He's walking to her room all giddy and excited
in his golden tuxedo.
Yeah, like all dressed up, got like probably like 24 roses, like just a comically large bouquet because he's a comically large man.
Yeah.
And he goes into the room and she like kind of barely acknowledges him and then lifts her fist up and he goes, "Oh, you want to play rock, paper, scissors?" And then I initially, because just the way that the episode was clearly going, I thought what they were going for is like, oh, he's lost his mojo, because he kept going on about he's the best at everything in America, including rock, paper, scissors. He is the most competitive.
You know that I'm competitive, especially when it comes to contests. I'm the strongest in America, even at rock, paper, scissors.
And I was expecting, like, oh yeah, of course, he's like somehow super good at that. But then he keeps losing.
Oh, darn it. No, I lost. I just couldn't decide between throwing paper or rock.
And my initial thought was, oh no, Baki's like under his skin. He's like losing at a psychological game now.
He can't play rock, paper, scissors anymore. Something's wrong with him.
Yeah. I've lost my mojo. But like he's like, apparently, according to his own dialogue, or like monologue internally, he like kind of implies that he just lets her win.
Well, to be fair, let's just point out he's not losing by chance, because of course losing in rock, paper, scissors is equally as difficult as winning.
Yeah.
What is he doing, Christian?
He's just constantly losing the rock, paper, scissors, but like he's doing it deliberately, I guess, for Maria.
Well,
like,
he's putting out his hand halfway and saying, "I couldn't choose between scissors and paper."
Right. Yeah.
He's really selling it, honestly. It's very believable. He's like, "Oh, I couldn't couldn't choose this time." And like,
all right now, this time for sure. Rock, paper, scissors. Oh, come on. I lost again.
really over the top.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oliva's voice actor, one of the best on the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was actually a treat this entire episode. I just wanted to point out that he did say that every single day he goes to visit Maria. But wasn't he just in Japan and China? Like, how did he make it back?
He's very fast.
He swims.
He's extremely competitive.
Yeah. But yeah, so he plays rock, paper, scissors with his girlfriend. He obviously throws every single match because every time he says, "Oh, I couldn't choose between scissors and rock." And yeah, and he phrases it in this hilarious way where he says,
"No matter how many times we do this, the winner is whoever we say it is. All just a part of the most ambiguous game in the world."
And it's like, you're not deciding anything. You lose every game. It's pretty clear who wins.
But it is noted that Maria does say that he technically won every game, or he could have won every game if he didn't like throw it in bed. So he still retains that, supreme rock, paper, scissors player status.
Man loves his girl.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Guys, if you've got a girlfriend out there, you better never win at Rochambeau. The way you can always lose is just pretend that you can't even decide the fucking hand symbol. Get disqualified every time. Your girlfriend will never find out. Yeah. By the way, this is probably your first time seeing Maria. What did you think of the character design?
Not great.
Have we seen her before?
Yes, in the show. This is like her fifth appearance, but I assume you guys haven't been watching along.
No.
I mean, it seems like a sweet, very weird relationship that they have. The character design is quite the choice.
It is weird, right? Because like it doesn't seem like he genuinely seems to love her.
Yeah,
it's
which is
like
lovely.
It's being presented as like a cruel joke in that way, but like the show is very clearly, I don't know.
I think that it's not trying to be cruel. I think what it was is the author wanted a reason to explain how buff Oliva is, and it's that he had to be that strong to carry his girlfriend around. Like
I feel
think that she is
like that is cruel though.
Yeah,
like that is a cruel, like a cruel joke.
It's cruel to make your girlfriend a Sisyphusian task that you have to carry around each day.
I mean, if you're making it up, you're like, this is the strongest guy on the planet. Why is he so strong? He has to carry his girlfriend. That's not a good.
No, every day the gods make him roll her uphill.
No.
But that is this show. Like Baki is the strongest teenager because he has to beat he just wants to be stronger than his dad, who is coincidentally the world's strongest man. So Oliva is the strongest man in America because coincidentally his girlfriend is the fattest woman in America. Like that's how the show works.
Was that how they kind of introduced her as well? Like, was that more explicit that she's the fattest woman in America? Did they say that?
So this is based off my growingly inaccurate source, the Baki wiki, that said that she might be based off of the real life world's fattest woman. I didn't see any sources for that beyond the Baki wiki, which I don't believe. By the way, if you want to see my in-depth research project, join the Discord to see where I disprove the claim that George Bush is bigger in the Baki anime than in real life. I saw you read
George Bosch.
Georg Bosch, as I call him. Oh man. Yeah, or join the yeah. Anyway, okay.
I'll tune in for that. That's a good expose.
Why would you tune into a Discord post?
I can't win, man. I can't win. No wonder I'm not a favorite.
But yeah, the character design is fat shamey at best.
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
great.
But I do like that the relationship isn't played for a joke outside of
Yeah.
that. Like it's a that was a weird one.
Strangely wholesome in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I had Catherine on the show recently, and she was just saying, like, get rid of Kozue, give me more Maria, because she is a fun character. Like, she's got personality. She's got, like, you know, she's a real person whose character isn't just, no, Baki, no, don't do it. Yeah. All right. The final scene, the fun one.
Oh my god.
Oliva visits. So Baki's back in his shirtless jail cell where he has to flex at all times, showing off the guns. Typical in all American prisons, of course. Who wants to describe this scene?
Ooh.
Well, as a lead in, Oliva comes to visit Baki, and then to show just how free he is in compared to a guy who's in finger cuffs or tied around his back, in a solitary confinement cell. Oliva is going to talk about his meal that he's going to have, and he goes into just an elaborate description of his meal, like course by course, including.
To be fair, it is 100,000 calories.
It is.
Which he probably could have gotten by just eating that motorcycle.
I think he could have eaten Baki for less than 100,000.
True.
Calories.
Oh yeah, easily. But I quite liked. It's not like it is 100,000 calories, but it's whatever, because one of the things is a melon full of cognac. Is that a thing people do? I've never heard of that in my life.
Oh, you're right. No,
That's got to be a rich person thing.
Yeah, the refined alcoholic.
I drink
you are right.
half a bottle of cognac.
I did jump right past the like Orson Welles wine commercial portion of the episode.
It's good, isn't it?
More than good. It's an immaculate Pinot Noir with a magnificent fruity palate. Cask aged, with an earthy nose due to the rich soil in which the grapes were grown.
No, I think that's
French.
afterwards. That's right after this whole scene.
Oh,
but
okay,
that is a really great scene as well.
So we're sticking.
Yeah.
So Oliva describes how, you know, he is, and I agree, he is living the life, even though he has to live in Arizona State Prison. Like, you know, I would.
You could have just said Arizona.
Yeah. Also, isn't this supposed to be
a state prison?
Isn't this supposed to be the Black Pentagon? Is it state? I thought it was like a federal prison. Why is it Arizona State Prison? It seems like it cheapens the impact of the prison. I don't know.
Yeah,
where do you want it to be? In like some neutral zone between all the states? It's got to be in one of the states.
I guess it has to be in one of the states. But I guess I think of are federal prisons named after the state that they're in? I suppose. It seems weird.
Well, if it says state prison, then it must be under the state's control, which is, I agree, that is weird. They should be, if they're gonna have this whole like black and white Pentagon thing, there should also be like a black and white Washington D.C. where there's like I don't know, like what's the anti-Washington, like King George D.C.
Benedict Arnold.
Ooh, there you go. Benedict. And it would just be called Arnold D.C.
Denver, Colorado.
Oh man, go to Arnold jail. Do not collect. Go.
It would make so much more sense though for a bunch of muscle-bound bros to be imprisoned in a place called Arnold.
Yeah,
Arnold.
True.
Welcome to the Black Pentagon. I'm
the coordinator.
I'm number 11. I'm not even in the top 10.
I'm working my way up, but I'd rather focus on my politics.
Look at that helicopter that Mr. Oliver's holding with a chain. Get to the helicopter.
It's Chopper. Come on.
Do you think your listeners were aware that they'd be tuning in for the worst Arnold impressions they've ever heard? For about a minute and a half.
You never know what you're going to get on this podcast, but at the same time, you can't rule that out. Okay.
No.
Christian, Jack did the easy part. What happens after we talk about the melon?
Oh my god!
Ooh, he just starts to unzip. Just gonna go right into it. Mr. Oliva starts to unzip and just starts pissing on our boy Baki.
He pissed on Baki, man.
He pissed on poor Baki.
And
said,
Baki looks like he likes it.
Yeah, weirdly. And says, chew on that a bit, which I think is an interesting way to follow up peeing on someone.
Yep.
It's not really a chewable thing.
No.
Anyway, it was very clear piss, so like
it was extremely clear. Yeah, the guy
he's quite hydrated.
Mm-hmm.
Of course,
that's something that I'm finding with this show is that these men are very well hydrated.
It's pure cognac that he's pissing on.
Melon cognac, to be specific.
Which is a brown liquor. That is not a clear liquor.
Oh no, he must be watering down his cognac.
The melon is
100,000 calories and also a bit of water.
Well, it's vodka during the day and then cognac at night.
It's funny when the series started, we had about five episodes and 3 of them had people peeing on other people's faces, and we took a big long break until we got back to this season where we had 2 urination episodes.
I was really not expecting it.
Well, and the craziest thing is it's Biscuit Oliva, and also like it cuts to his face during it, and he looks like he's at a funeral. Like he's so somber and serious as he pisses on Baki's face. Like
I can't believe you're making me do this.
But like that's the whole point of this, right? Is that he's not enjoying it. He's doing this because he thinks that this sort of puts Baki in his place and puts himself back at like the freest man because I can piss on whatever I want, including this Japanese boy.
Bring me the Japanese boy.
It's a good thing he's already in prison because that was clearly an offense. Baki's 17, you know.
Like... No. All right, I've been wrong a bunch. I think definitely as of this season, Baki is 18. It is legal to piss on his face.
Wow. Okay.
Sent to Arizona State Juvenile.
Yeah.
Questionably consenting adults.
Also, I'm glad I dedicated the previous episode to my mom for Mother's Day. She is not going to enjoy this one.
Could have saved this for Father's Day.
Yeah. We can always wish your mom a happy birthday early on this episode, if that makes sense.
Do you think my mom was born on Mother's Day?
No, just an early happy birthday for, to be...
Right. On the count of 3, let's all say happy birthday. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday,
Steve's mom.
She's
going to love that. All right.
We did a great job. But Baki starts laughing at him, and because Baki is enjoying it, he can't enjoy it. It's probably a common thing with
this is like the type of shit that like you're told that like this is like how your parents will tell you to deal with the school bully.
Yeah.
I don't think this actually works in real life.
I always have such a good time with you. Huh. You know, now that I think about it, you, the most elite person in here, just pissed all over a person who isn't even able to move right now. That's how different our situations are. You're the one on top, right? And yet you're not laughing at all, not even a little bit.
If you laugh at them, they have no power over you, and it's like you just look a little crazy.
Look, when he pisses on you, just chew on it.
Just chew on it.
Yeah. So Baki gets peed on, takes it like a champ. You know, he's laughing. This is where the episode title, Can't You Laugh? All of us not laughing. So who's the most free guy? It's the guy covered in piss in his own solo isolation cell with his fingers tied together.
Because Baki successfully killed the vibe.
He's really like the amount that he's putting Oliva through in terms of like psychological anguish is something. I thought that he was going to swoop in and steal Maria in that other scene. Like I thought this was going to just be psychological warfare entirely, but it's still enough to break a guy.
That would have been wild though.
Yeah.
If the doors open and Baki was just in bed with Maria.
Playing rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah. Just cuddling, playing rock, paper, scissors. It's not even like that would be the first time they've cuddled.
Yeah. No. Oh, I'm glad you're relatively up to date, Christian. Warms my podcasting heart.
I try to make sure I'm caught up before I'm on.
Oh, beautiful. That explains the guy. I don't know. I had a guy download 50 episodes today, so
that was not me.
Yeah, that was me. That was me. Sorry, Steve.
Fucking marathoned it.
Oh man. All right, so that brings us into our more or less final scene. The Orson Welles wine commercial where they've brought out...
It's fermented in the bottle.
Yeah. Jack, what was your thoughts on this? But also, the part I'm most interested, honestly, is the math that Biscuit Oliva starts using.
The math that he started... When does he start doing math?
It was the wine math.
I believe what he says is...
What is it about this particular liquid made from fermented grapes that makes it worth 10,000 times more than an everyday table wine? It's at most 11 or 12 times more delicious, so the pleasure you get from it's at most 14 or 15 times more.
Like, what formula is this?
Oh my god. It's that's the sommelier's formula. You wouldn't know.
Pure hedonism.
Yeah.
Curbed only by utilitarian math.
Are these like the sommelier pirates, like Che Guevara? Like
Sommelier pirates. We're from a far off land called Somalia, right next to Somalia. Yeah, the Orson Welles commercial was terrific, quite frankly. You don't know how he's going to react to this extremely... It cost as much as a high-end car, did the guy say? This one bottle of wine. He takes a sip, and then immediately he's transported in front of photorealistic grapes, as he perfectly describes the body, the mouthfeel. He swishes it in his mouth like a frog, like the bottoms of his neck inflate as he's tasting it.
Yeah, that was gross.
Yeah, a little bit. And we saw him pee on somebody earlier, and that was the thing that I was more perturbed by.
See, I would I would really disagree with the math here. So, have any of you guys ever had like a really fancy drink?
Yeah, I've had like... We're talking, Steve. Like,
well, here's my example.
Luxury car.
So, like, I've been at a bar and you could have a shot of Johnny Walker Blue, which is, if you bought a bottle of that, it's going to be an order of magnitude more expensive than Johnny Walker Red. In my experience, I would say that a fancy drink, my math would not be that it is 12 times better than a regular version of the drink. And it would be somewhere between the range of 1 times as good to 1.2 times as good. It's just my personal experience, but I wanted to see if I could get a consensus here.
I don't know if I know of anything that's like I could claim is 11 times better than another thing in terms of like food and drink necessarily.
If you're limiting it to food and drink, yeah. Like I'd say I'm 11 times better than you, but like for like wine and stuff, yeah.
God damn it. I'm leaving the podcast. I can't get any respect.
I feel like there's like a ceiling, you know? Like I feel like if you're going for like the real cheap shit, it's not going to be that great.
Mm-hmm.
But you can get up to like sort of a middle level where it's like this is definitely good. Like you can taste the improvement. But like once you're starting to pay like $200 for something, it's not I don't think there's that much of a leap, you know?
Like how much can you actually discern after a while? Like good tequila is like there's a measurable thing in there with tequila, but it only goes up to a certain point, I think.
Like $8 wine versus like $15 wine. There's a pretty wide gap there.
Yeah, I've had bathtub wine before. That was one of the worst nights of my life.
Yeah. Well, that was when you were in the bath and you accidentally spilled it, right?
Yeah, and then I drank the bath water / wine water. It was a lapse in judgment, but I don't regret too much.
It's got tastes of Jack. Yeah. Anyway, so Biscuit Oliva talks about wine and he gets really upset, and then he, in the coolest move I've ever seen, like, you know, some people like crunch like a beer can into their forehead. That's got nothing on. It's like 5-starring the wine bottle and the bottom blows out. I loved that move.
It was extremely powerful. You wonder what would happen if all of us slapped you on the ass. You know, like I think my front half would explode.
Whoa, TMI. It's a new way to describe it.
My front half is about to explode.
Oh man.
Oh man. All right, we got to wrap this up.
Well, I was struck by the juxtaposition that I only just realized of Oliva being so unimpressed by a wine that cost, you know, thousands of dollars versus Baki having a drink of water and loudly proclaiming, "So good."
So good.
It didn't even have ice in it.
Yeah.
Boneless.
You know why you liked it? Because it was
Why is
free.
that?
And he's the
Exactly.
world's freest man now.
Oliva's chained by materialism, dude.
Man,
Do you think he brought enough water to like douse him to get the pee off, or no?
No fucking way. Baki is
Definitely
covered
not.
in piss the entire scene.
So there's still a little bit of piss on his lips.
And I don't think the Baki told that nice old man that he is covered in piss.
Oh,
Kid,
you would know.
He knows. No way.
You sure about that?
Mr.
The
Oliver,
guy was up close and personal.
Biscuit Oliva eats 100,000 calories a day. You can smell when he peed on something.
But how is it so
It's a
clear if
must.
he ate all of that, you know?
No. There's probably... I don't even think it evaporates. I think it's...
He has
some
the
weird
strongest
chemical.
kidneys in America.
I like how they've set the ceiling now of Yujiro being the strongest man, so they have to kind of relegate different characters to being like the strongest man in America.
This is... yeah, no, I agree. And sorry to, like, jump on your point, but, like, this is one of my biggest beefs with this show, and I'll get into it more as the season goes on. But all of us should be the strongest man in the world. Like, he is a complete idiot when it comes to martial arts. Like the easy storyline to go with is that Oliva's the strongest man, but Yujiro can kick his ass because he knows 10,000 martial arts. And the fact that Yujiro is just straight up stronger than Oliva is just like such a conglomeration of ideas, and it's my pet peeve with this show. All right.
It really limits the ceiling on stuff. But, you know, America's good.
Did they eventually Do they eventually reveal like the strongest person in each country?
Sikorsky, the strongest man of Russia. No,
Well, that's
they do not.
embarrassing.
I know, and I bet that is true.
Yeah.
But no, they do not. I'm hoping they just ended a new arc in the manga. They're done with the sumo saga, so I'm hoping the next one will be some big tournament. Maybe we can get an Olympics thing going on.
I'd really like if he went region to region and fought the strongest person in like Maine or Oregon.
If he can fight Biscuit Oliva, I don't think the strongest guy in Maine is gonna be a big. Strongest guy in Maine is gonna be some guy named Trevor who like just can do 100 sit-ups.
A really good crab fisherman or lobster fisherman. Do you think that Vermont is it Ben, Jerry, or Bernie Sanders? Those are the only three people I've ever heard of being from Vermont.
I'm gonna go with Bernie only because one time I was on the Who Would Win subreddit, and it was they asked who would win between peak Bernie Sanders and like a gorilla or something. And this guy started talking about how Bernie used to do like track and fields and all of these things. So I think that he is fit. I think that they're all old men, but I think that Bernie's got that dog in him, and I think that he's got like a bit of an athletic background. And Ben and Jerry just eat ice cream all day.
It's true.
But Ben and Jerry is a tag team. That could be a big thing too, you know?
Well,
the multi-fighter.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to like fuck it all up and ask a different question, then yeah, I guess they could be a tag team. All right, fans of the podcast, this week's question on Spotify. Who will win?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of that, we should do the Spotify question of the week. Once again from Jacob, your fan, Christian.
I just want to thank you again, Jacob. I don't know who you are, but...
All right.
Thank you.
Who is a better ship? Baki x Maria, Baki x Retsu, Retsu and Doyle, or Katsumi and Doyle?
It's gotta be Retsu and Doyle. I still love that one.
It's pretty strong.
Yeah, I'm in that camp too.
Yeah, I do like putting down Baki and Retsu. I do think they have an interesting relationship, and Katsumi and Doyle is good. Baki Maria is a troll ship. Come on, man. But we're going. I think unanimously Retsu and Doyle. Retsu's coming back next season. Maybe it happens.
Finally,
we'll see.
I love it when lovers come back together.
Yeah. Did you guys have anything you wanted to add? Any plugs? That was a joke. I assume you don't.
Always crash your motorcycle if you think you're going to trade it in.
Yeah, it loses most of its resale value the second you drive it off the lot, so might as well just fuck it up.
And if you want to assert dominance, steal somebody's button off their shirt.
Oh, man.
But the second button.
The second button.
If you steal the first button, so sort of a dick move. All right. Well, that's all the Baki we've got to talkie. These duo episodes are going to kill me because they're all 50 minutes of editing. It was a lot of fun, and I'll see y'all next week. Goodbye.
So good.
Goodbye.
It's time to stop listening to the stupid nonsense this child is spouting.
Friday.